Yo, what's good? It's your boy Icon Riot, and in today's Destiny 2 video, I'm going to be showing you what is one of my favorite Striker Titan builds inside of 6s in PvP in Destiny 2. You can use this in 3s, competitive, or Trials of Osiris. I just don't find it as efficient or potent. It of course can be used, but in 6s is where this class shines the most. So the subclass that I'm talking about today is Middle Tree Striker Code of the Missile. I'll go over everything on the left hand side first before we go over the main build. Lightning Grenade is the grenade of my choice. IMO is the best Titanade, don't at me. I use Towering Barricade just to secure positions, and if I'm losing a gunfight it gives me instant cover. It's very easy to play around as well, so that's the reason I use it. I prefer Strafe Lift, it just feels more organic and it's easier to use in my opinion. A lot of people use Catapult Lift when you're Titan skating. I just don't enjoy the lift unless I'm Titan skating. So now, the Code of the Missile build. Thunder Crash is the name of your super. You hurl through the air like a missile and crash into enemies to inflict meteoric damage. The amazing thing about this super is you can fly through enemies and it won't proc it, just like a Superman fly. You fly through them and you just eliminate them, and then you can slam later.
You will always have rapid. You've always had it active.
This Missile Titan is so easy to control on him. And dude, you got pooped on.
Ballistic Slam is your super. After sprinting, you leap into the air and use a slam into the ground and damage nearby enemies. It's Death from Above from Destiny 1, and it's one of the most amazing melees in this game if you catch people off guard. It does an AoE effect, and it can send people flying, and you can cause damage to them if they run into the wall. The main thing you want in this build is Inertia Override, and this procs on any gun you're using. By picking up ammo during a slide, you reload your equipped weapon and it increases the damage for a short time. The short time is 3.5 seconds and the increased damage is 20%. It lasts 3.5 seconds, but there's a little hump that you have to get over when using this. It doesn't activate immediately. It's a 0.5 second delay, and this just gives you time to acquire your target.
There was someone there. I too tapped him out of Golden Gun.
And the last node that makes this tree amazing is Impact Conversion. Hitting enemies with your Ballistic Slam, which is your melee, grants you super energy and Inertia Override. Also, it's not stated in the class, but when you use Thunder Crash, you also proc Inertia Override. So you have 3 things that can proc Inertia Override and give you a 3.5 second 20% damage buff. Now, this paired with your armor, mods, and weapons is what's going to make it amazing. So the exotic is all up to you, but the exotic of my choice is Dune Marchers. And Dune Marchers is nutty. You, with Ballistic Slam, you're able to literally take out an entire team by yourself.
Yeah, I don't think so. Oh my god.
Oh, I gotta clip that.
A lot of people like to run Syntheseps with this perk tree, or Middle Tree Striker, I'm sorry, but Syntheseps isn't as efficient. You need to have 3 or more enemies around you with Ballistic Slam to get a one-shot kill, where Dune Marchers can literally chain everyone. Also, it has increased slide distance, meaning it's easier to slide through ammo. I used to run One-Eyed Mask with this build, just so I can slide through ammo with Inertia Override and I can continue on my sprees.
Get 2-tap, bitch. Get 2-tap, bitch. Get 2-tap, bitch. Get cleaned up, bitch. Get 2-tap, bitch.
But the main weapon that you would want to use with this loadout and this build are 120 hand cannons. Everyone hates them, yet everyone uses them in the Crucible. If you have a True Prophecy with Rampage, you're golden. I deleted mine before I knew they were going to be good. I know it was like the worst mistake, and I have FOMO, so I really hate myself for it. but luckily I got a steady hand to drop an Iron Banner with Swashbuckler. And if you have one of these, you are golden, especially one with Slide Shot, which is what I was going for, but unfortunately didn't get. So the way that this works is Inertia Override allows 120s to crit for 108 damage, meaning you can 2-tap anyone, which will proc Swashbuckler ×1, which crits for 96, and that lets you 2-tap Guardians 5 Brazilian or less, and then you'll get Swashbuckler ×2, and that lets you literally 2-tap anyone. It's insane. I pair it with a shotgun, just so I can increase my shotgun range. Inertia Override will give me increased damage to my shotgun pellets, which will theoretically increase my shotgun range and make my shotgun more consistent. I've seen a lot of people use this with high impact snipers like Bite of the Fox or Revoker if you want to go that route. This lets you 1-tap Guardians 5 Brazilian or less to the body. I believe it does 198 damage. Your heavy choice doesn't matter. I use Commemoration because it's fun. Black Talon if I want to shut down supers, and Tractor Cannon if I'm being memey. So now the main part of the build that will continue to 2-tap spree is in your mods of armor. And that's your Charge with Light mods. You want to have Taking Charge, which allows you to become Charged with Light just by picking up an orb. Simple mod, no downfalls. This pairs perfectly with High Energy Fire. While Charged with Light, you gain a 20% damage buff, and each defeated combatant consumes 1 stack of Charged with Light. That is great wording. Each defeated combatant, meaning if you get an assist, you won't consume 1 stack of Charged with Light. So you can put damage in the enemies, crit someone for 108 and have a teammate clean them up, and it won't consume a stack. The only time you lose a stack is if you get the defeat or if you die. To make this Charged with Light build even better, I use stacks on stacks. It gives you a negative stat in the recovery, but I think it's worth it. You get 2 stacks of Charged with Light just by getting Charged with Light once, and this will allow you to proc Swashbuckler ×2 easily. Once you're Charged with Light, you crit for 108. That's 2 easy eliminations, 2 2-taps, and then you get Swashbuckler ×2, which is another 2-tap spree. And lastly, I use Charge Harvester, and Charge Harvester allows you to become Charged with Light. Anytime you get a kill, assist, it'll give you a small chance to become Charged with Light, and this is anywhere between 5 to 7 kills or assists, you will become Charged with Light. It's insane. And on my leg armor, I run Radiant Light just to grant Charged with Light to other people around me if they're running Charged with Light builds. I mainly just use it for the melee so I can continue to get Ballistic Slam. If you have a solar piece of armor that you need to use, I would run Supercharge, which just grants me an extra total stack of Charged with Light, so I'll get 3 instead of 2. But stacks on stacks, I think, is a far superior mod. So now let's put this entire build together for you. Middle Tree Striker, you get Thunder Crash, Ballistic Slam, Inertia Override. All 3 have a chance to grant a 20% damage buff for 3.5 seconds. A 20% damage buff for 3.5 seconds on a steady hand lets you crit for 108, will let you 2-tap any Guardian. You get Swashbuckler ×1 to proc, 2-tap any Guardian, 5 Resilience or less because it crits for 96. Anytime there, that's a double kill, you drop a Charged with Light mod or a Orb of Light, Orb of Power. You drop an Orb of Power, you become Charged with Light. You get High Energy Fire to proc, another 20% damage buff for as long as you're alive. You get 2 of them because stacks on stacks. You waste those 2 mods, you get 2 taps, you're continuing to get this spree. Charge Harvester comes into play and grants you Charged with Light again. This build revolves around each other and allows you to constantly get 2 taps. On my class item, if you want, I used to run Berserker, and Berserker is a great mod. I'll read it out to you. When your super ends, you gain a temporary bonus to weapon damage. The duration and strength of this bonus increases based on the number of combatants you defeated with your super. So if you get 1 elimination, that's a 20% damage buff for 10 seconds. 2 increases it to 15 or 20, and 3 increases it to 35. So you can use that if you want to continuously get more buffs, but I just found more consistency running my Charged with Light build. And these are, of course, my splits. As you can see, 50 mobility, 30 res, 100 recov, 20 nades, 90 intellect, 50 melee. Feel free to comment on this build. This is what I've been using a lot in 6s. It's honestly phenomenal. Like I said before, the 2 best exotics to run are either Dune Marchers for the Ballistic Slam and the increased slide distance. Of course, the sprint speed and the mobility is not to be slept on. Or you can use One-Eyed Mask to continue the 2 chains, the 2-tap chains. but I just found more enjoyability using Doom Archers. So that's one of my favorite Striker Titan builds in the Crucible. I hope you guys enjoy the rest of your day, and I'll catch you guys in the Crucible. Peace.